wanted to take a few minutes. You know I do my table talk, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so this month I wanted you to come on so that we can talk about just our relationship, moms and sons. And you know the book, Letters to Our Sons, that I wrote a couple of years ago.
Good book. Go buy the book.
Yes.
Amazon.
You hear that? Yeah, that's a good promoter for you. And so I just want to spend a few minutes just asking you a few questions. I think it's going to help other young men. It's going to help other moms. And so my first question for you is, what is one thing that you remember growing up that when you think about it, it makes you smile?
Coming home after school, seeing you work, it kind of motivated me to be a hard worker, and that made me happy to know that I had a mother who was always wanting to support me and nurture me and basically make sure that I had everything I needed. And also spending time with my family is a big thing for me. So
yeah. What in your teenage years, what kind of stood out to you that you're like, wow, I'm so glad that happened? Do you remember anything that happened?
Graduating from high school.
Yeah. Was there any
going on to college. That's a big thing for me. And playing college football, and I'm soon to be graduating from college with my bachelor's. So
that's great. That's great. What is one thing, growing up, there's a lot of things that happen to you. There are a lot of things you go through as a young man. But what is one thing that you want to be able to share with your children, like things that happen to you that you want to make sure, or things that you grew up doing that you want to make sure your kids know about?
I would have to say is always teach them the lesson of keeping God first, because without Him, you can't really give credit to anyone else without giving acknowledgement to Him first. Mm-hmm. Also, I would say always be financially responsible.
Boy, that's a good one, Roland. That's a good one.
Basically just watch who you hang around and just know that your family's always going to be there regardless of who walks out or anything like that. So that's what I would have to tell my kids if I had children, or later on in the future. So.
Mm-hmm. Later on in the future, people. We're not looking for grandbabies right now. Later on in the future. I'm going to welcome them then. So, Roland, as growing up I'm going to use as African-American man, what is something that you feel like young African-American men struggle with that you know that you're going to persevere through? Can you share something with me that you think is a struggle for not just African-American men really, but just young men growing up in this generation?
I would have to say growing up without a fatherly figure in the household would have to be a big problem with my generation. Mm-hmm. And that's something I would hope will get better with time.
How will you do that differently with your kids? What do you think that you will have in your life that's going to help you be able to be there for your children?
Well, I want to make sure that they're always going to have that father figure, and when they're put in certain situations, know what to do and what not to do. Mm-hmm.
And just being there for them. Yeah. What is one thing that makes you sad when you think about just your growing up time? There's been hard times. There's been good times. I'm talking about whether it was in school or whether it was going to college. What is things that you can remember, even just one thing you can remember that when you think about it kind of makes you like sad?
I wouldn't say that I've had like super sad moments in my life. Like I said, it would probably have to be just seeing this generation, how you find a lot of fatherless kids, or just fatherless kids that don't have a father figure in the household would have to be a big thing for me that I would have to say is a concern. But I don't really have any like super sad moments that really pop in my head at the time. So
okay, good. So when you think about, I know you used to say to me that I was strict on you, and I probably was.
Yes, you was.
I probably was, because I was an overprotective mom. But even with that, what do you think is some of the things that I had you not do? How do you think it's a benefit for you now? Do you think I was too strict and it hurt you, or kind of tell me what you think about that?
Well, I actually commend you for basically being strict
Don't
on
make
me
me cry.
because growing up, you see all these kids out there going to parties and doing this. Now, I have friends that lost their lives or paralyzed in jail. And I feel like if you wouldn't have been as strict on me as you were, then I'd be one of those three. And so since I'm not in that statistical bracket, I feel like I just feel like I made it. So
yeah,
because of you being strict on me, I feel like I'm headed in the right direction.
I think you are. I think you are, and I'm so proud. I want to let you know that how proud I am of you. That even the times that you felt like I was too hard on you, it was a reason. I saw what was in you. I saw the giftings and the talents within you. And a lot of times when parents and moms and dads see that, they want to push you. Coaches want to push you. When they see that you have it in you, that's when they start pushing you. And sometimes it feels like people picking on you. But when people see great destiny on your life, then they want to push you to make sure you get there. And so that's the reason. But I want to say this book, Letters to Our Sons, you can take a look at this. It's going to give you other tips from other moms. And Roland, as we close out this interview, one of the things that I want you to know is that you said something to me a couple of weeks ago that just it will never leave me. You said, I'm in the process of moving from the house you grew up in. And one of the things you said to me is like, Mom, don't sell that house. That's where my peace is. Tell me, what did you mean by that when you say don't move? Because when I come home, that's where my peace is. What did you mean by that?
I just feel like that's my place of peace. Like when I'm going through things, or if there's something that I need to talk to you about or something, I can come here and really just vent. It's not a whole bunch of commotion and loud noise going on in this area. So I just feel like I can come here, lay my head, and rest. And
but I want you to remember that anywhere my home is, that your peace will be there, because that's what we pray for, peace in our homes. We want a peaceful place to rest our head. And so I want you to know that any place that I live, when you come, peace will be there. So what is something you want to leave with young men that may be watching this video? What is one thing you want to leave with them?
Strive for anything that you want to do, regardless of what anyone or anybody may think that's not possible to be done. Just strive for it. I mean, you never know what the outcome could be, or you never know. You're gonna go through obstacles. There's gonna be walls that you're gonna feel like you hit a brick wall. But if you pursue that and strive for it, eventually you'll come out with the answer that you've been looking for. So I would say just follow your dreams and don't look back.
Boy, I love you. You the bomb. Give me a heads up. Thank you guys for watching. We just want to come by for a few minutes. Letters to Our Sons, the table talk for April, and we will see you soon. Take some time out and do this interview with your children. Do this interview with your sons. And so we're signing off for now, but thank you for taking time to watch Letters to Our Sons. Spend time with your families, spend time with your children, and begin to speak life into them and letting them know that they have great purpose and great destiny for their life. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.